It will give you financial year statement, download karo, upload to any GPT. It will give you a spending of breakdown. I spent 10 lakhs last financial year, 7 lakhs for SmartBuy for me.
Crazy.
काफी बार डिवैल्यूएशन होता है तो दर्द होता है, लेकिन इस बार लाइक आई एम टोटली कंफ्यूज्ड. आई डोंट अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट दे आर ट्राइंग टू डू. कुछ अच्छा करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं, कुछ बुरा करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं.
You have to spend 18 lakhs otherwise you lose your card. But what does lose your card mean? ये क्लैरिटी नहीं थी. बर्गंडी प्राइवेट वालों को वो लोग टच नहीं कर सकते.
मेल ही नहीं आया मेरे को.
नहीं आपको नोटिस घर भेजेंगे देखो.
घर पे से उठा के लेके जाएंगे. माय पॉइंट इज कि उनके लिए there is extra money on the table every quarter, so I see it as a revaluation.
There's one more thing that I think we missed. ये add-on cards का क्या scene है? What is the HDFC card stack strategy in 2026?
In my permutation and combination, मेरे 1 in million possibility भी नहीं I can spend 18 lakhs on that card.
This insight I got because I sent my financial year statement to ChatGPT. Reaching that 80-70 sometimes not very difficult.
Let's also acknowledge the fact that HDFC is the only bank who thought about those freelance people.
Hypothetically आपको 1st May को मेल आता है and let's say 18 लाख आपको करना है March 31st तक. Do it, otherwise you can't continue with the Infinia.
Very good question. अगर मेरे को ये email आया, the immediate thing I will do.
Lights flashing bright, we're on the go. Tune in now, there's so much to know. Earning bits, travel dreams we sow. All aboard the great Indian Points and Miles show. 0 to hero in the blink of an eye. Fly first class, no need to be shy. Redemption sweet, touching the sky. Award seats booked, let's give it a try. Award seats booked, let the points flow. It's all aboard the great Indian Points and Miles show. Unlocking journeys wherever you go. The sky's the limit, feel the travel mojo.
Hello and welcome to another fun episode of the Great Indian Points and Miles Show. Well, we're doing this very interesting series where we're taking each bank and we're trying to decipher what it means to have cards of each bank for this particular year. What should your strategy be for 2026 if you have cards of this particular bank? We started off with Axis Bank, but this one we're bringing to you on HDFC. And for this, we've got two special guests. First up, like always, we've got Mr. Dhimant, who is just back from a very exciting Bangkok trip for the Points Syndicate. क्या हाल भाई, क्या किया?
ये तो वक्त ही बताएगा.
नहीं, ये तो पता चुका है वक्त. आप थोड़ा विस्तार करें because all of the community wants to know. You can get Dhimant out of Thailand, but you cannot get Thailand out of Dhimant. ये बताओ.
तो तुमने वो भी सुना होगा, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, वैसे ही what happens in Thailand stays in Thailand. Doesn't come to a podcast. But anyways, I think very excited to do this episode because like I said, काफी बार devaluation होता है तो दर्द होता है, लेकिन इस बार like I'm totally confused. First 3 महीने में जो भी हो रहा है, like I don't understand what they're trying to do. कुछ अच्छा करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं, कुछ बुरा करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं. What are the changes? I just want to break it down for everybody. So let's go ahead with it, man.
Cool. With that, let's also now introduce our second guest for the day. He is Santosh. You met Santosh in an episode that we did last year. It's one of our best performing episodes till date. So Santosh has a lot of cred while coming from that particular episode. But also, there is a very interesting group in Bangalore. It's a small but bespoke group called the Swipe Squad. It is a secret cryptic group that a few of us, I think only 12 of us are part of, and Santosh is part of that group. I don't want to disclose the reason, but Santosh's favorite card used to be the Samsung Infinite for very peculiar reasons. So Santosh, इसके बारे में आप क्या कहना चाहेंगे?
I would say it is still my favorite card because उसका मैंने I've earned and I've burnt. Lot of earnings are still remaining to burn. इसका मैंने redeem कर चुका हूँ, so
It will remain the mystery of why that card was ever launched, why the card had a bonus, why the bonus was stopped. All of this will always remain a mystery. Again, part of what happens in Samsung Infinite stays in Samsung Infinite.
Yeah.
But the way we used to catch up for dinner back in the day, all of us, and Santosh used to come back and say, आज मैंने ये किया Infinite के साथ. I'm like, भाई ये तुम ही कर सकते हो.
अरे किधर है? हाँ, so this phone I bought in Chroma, but this is backstory to it. I had to buy some additional accessories. I bought it in the Samsung store in MG Road. So I used that for that. And this I used 70,000 Chroma vouchers, which I got from SCB United, which I got Ultimate. वो back in the day. So yeah. अभी ये फोन टूटा है but there is no good redemption now.
बहुत पुराना खिलाड़ी है ये. SCB अल्टीमेट यूज किया इसने.
पुराना नहीं, मंझा हुआ खिलाड़ी.
मंझा हुआ पुराना.
Very experienced.
I meant पुराना मतलब experience totally.
Cool. Welcome Santosh.
Thank you.
तो शुरू करते हैं. The context of this episode, like we know, is really talking about HDFC. So Q1, Q1, 2026 has been nothing short of a roller coaster. So it all started with something on the lines of SmartBuy pay, we are getting 5x. Suddenly they said 3x. There was a huge public outcry. Then they rolled it back to 5x. उसके बाद फिर और changes आए, और surprises आए. Some people got 18 lakh rupee ka mailers. You have to spend 18 lakhs, otherwise you lose your card. Some people got 3 lakh rupees ka mailer. And they said you have to spend 3 lakhs in the next 2 months. Otherwise you lose your card. But what does lose your card mean? Will you lose your Infinia? Will they close it? Will they downgrade it? ये clarity नहीं थी. Along with that, there was more chaos and confusion. So a lot of people didn't get a mail at all. And some people got a mail that you can continue to enjoy your benefits. Burgundy private वालों को वो लोग touch नहीं कर सकते. They dare not send an email to Burgundy private kind of people.
घर भेजेंगे देखो.
घर पे से उठा के लेके जाएंगे.
So I think there was a lot that really HDFC went through. And then now what happened was BizBlack got added new benefits. Regalia में कुछ change हुए. So there was like a lot that has happened. I think what we should do is try and summarize, Santosh, what are points that in the current HDFC ecosystem you are shocked about, you are concerned about, and you are happy about. And once we hear from you, we'll hear about the same perspective from Dhimant. And then I'd love to understand what your HDFC stack looks like for this year, what your strategy is going to be for this year, and we'll replicate and we'll go around the room and discuss. चलेगा?
Perfect.
चलो शुरू करते हैं. Over to you.
So the biggest, to be honest, Regalia Gold, the changes that came in, is a good step up for people who don't have your DCB or Infinia. But so all cards so far have been in terms of redemption ki yeah, book for a flight. These are all things that you would have bought elsewhere because it is a need. But they are now adding those small features which can be a lifestyle perk which you might not do. I am from Vizag. I saw the terms and condition. My wife has the Regalia Gold. I don't have it because I have better cards. Now I am going to Vizag for home. I see it is giving one voucher for meal. I would not necessarily go to Welcome Hotel in Vizag, which I will do now. So I feel it is a small lifestyle twist which companies are trying to push you towards, right? So India is still a growing economy, so people are still trying to.
Santosh, ये specific perk के बारे में थोड़ा और बता दो. Can you just explain the basic math of earn on Regalia Gold and what this means? What specifically?
So if you spend in a quarter 60,000 in Regalia, if the numbers are right, you get to choose 2 out of 4 benefits in the destination city. So you're going to a trip or you to your home, and the benefits starts usually at the launch, but they end once you reach the airport, and that is the story. So they're trying to bridge that gap between landing airport to your destination. So you have 4 options. One is a Uber voucher of 750. Except Bangalore, typically it should cover your ride to the destination. A spa. If you're going on and maybe a good destination with your partner or your family, you can do a spa visit. You also have a free buffet in typical ITC properties. They can be good properties or mid-scale, welcome hotel, story, etc. And you also have an upgrade voucher. So let's say I am trying to go to maybe Chennai, right? And I have 2 users and you have crossed 60,000 for that month. We'll come back to how to be...
That month or that quarter?
That quarter, sorry.
That quarter, okay.
Let's come back later. How do you want to hit that 60,000? If you're doing right, I'm going there, I'm staying in an ITC property, you're booking your base hotel, again using ITC points maybe. but you can use that to upgrade your vacation, right? Go to the hotel in free, have a free meal, do a spa. So all of these are working out well for me if you think it from an experience perspective. अब
कल नहीं था आज है, मतलब it's as simple as that. मतलब added something to your kitty which was not existing earlier. But I have few questions. Like again, I don't think the PDF had clarity. I don't know if you reached out to the bank or if you have clarity on this. One, you said 60,000 spend करना पड़ता है, but the PDF says the 60,000 is for the lounge access. It doesn't say for the travel edge program. I am actually confused because the PDF never
Travel Edge पहले उन्होंने launch किया था, but Travel
It is
Edge,
now
like we
called-
all know, is Axis Travel Edge. I think now they changed it to
Oh, is it?
Boarding Edge or something.
Boarding
like
Edge.
Okay, boarding edge.
And
Okay.
by
that.
Sorry,
So
I'm sorry.
the first
I'm sorry,
document
Axis.
that surfaced on the internet potentially
Internet
said,
नहीं sir, email आया. There was an email.
याद नहीं है मेरे को, but wherever I saw it,
yeah.
it said Travel Edge, but then later on they changed it, I think, to
Okay.
Boarding Edge.
तो boarding edge के लिए the PDF that was sent or PDF that was accessed, people kept asking us back because I don't have the Regalia Gold, saying that they don't say any of these. They say कि ये voucher unlock हुआ है, हो जाएगा, ये 4 benefits है. They do not tell you whether you have to hit 60,000 for that. It says 60,000 for the lounge access.
No, I just read like now. I think it's 60,000 to open.
The boarding edge benefits, boarding whatever it is called, I don't know what it is.
And surprisingly, HDFC being a listed bank, they have got the spelling wrong of boarding.
Okay, surprising. Second question I have is that do you think that this bookings, when I have to use this benefit, do I have to make it via SmartBuy only or can I use any booking that I've made?
So they've asked for a boarding pass, and as much as I know, except Amex, no one has the data of ये flight कहाँ से book हुआ है. So I think
But SmartBuy is their own portal, no? Like they should be able to figure out कि मतलब SmartBuy से किया है कि नहीं किया है.
नहीं, कैसे करोगे? Like for example, if there is a boarding pass, the boarding pass will have the PNR.
हाँ, so it's like Scapia then. It is not related to where you booked it
So
from.
exactly,
Yeah.
when Santosh and I were talking before this pod, he was saying, "Yeah, if I book this flight from some other card, and if I still cross the 60,000 threshold because of my other needs, and I still scan, they should still work." So ये like what is the thought behind this?
Sir, मैं आपको बताता हूँ. Again, sorry, please pardon me because he
Yeah.
said that 60,000 is the number that you spend. तो 20,000 per month मैं Scapia पे spend करूँ या 60,000 Regalia पे gold करूँ, number similar ही आ रहा है. And you have to scan boarding pass, which also seems like almost like the same feature.
But in that case, don't you think the Scapia is a much better card?
Exactly, unlimited
क्योंकि
times है वो.
दिमाग का cognitive load नहीं है. Regalia Gold is getting harder to achieve. And here, this is a zero fee card, and 20K per month will unlock airport benefits, and 50K will unlock international airport benefits.
But that's unlimited. यहाँ पे 2 बार ही है.
Exactly why Scapia becomes a better card, no then? But like, have they shot themselves in the foot by doing this to Regalia, or like, what is the thought process?
No, one second. I don't think it's a short term. You are thinking about a fact where somebody has to choose between both the cards. I'm
Yes.
saying इसके बारे में सोचो. इसकी wife has the Regalia Gold.
Sure.
She had the card. She was extracting X value out of it. Tomorrow she's going to extract X plus 750 rupees value. For her, so it is better only. She doesn't want to go for one more card. She doesn't want to apply for one more card. So from that lens, कल आपके पॉकेट में नहीं था पैसा, आज तुम्हारे पॉकेट में वो पैसा है. हाँ, if she has to spend extra 20,000 to achieve that, वो तो anyway उसको Scapia में भी करना पड़ेगा. So if it's her primary card.
yeah, like but if you ask me, right, it is also a good way for HDFC to get those Scapia, what do you call customers like me who have not gotten Scapia for 5 times already. 5 times I've been rejected. So for me, that is a good entry. Second is people who are on
लेकिन
Scapia.
अभी बॉब के साथ भी आपका रिजेक्ट हो गया. Bank of Baroda. That also. So that means issues still remain.
Yeah, it remains.
It's not potentially a bank issue. It's a tech
but
issue.
for a person who plans out his next 6 months ka stack, it becomes very valuable because I want to take a BOB Etihad जो मेरे को मिल नहीं रहा because I cancelled my BOB one card, but the system is not updated that I'm not holding the card yet.
Allow only one card.
So then this is a bank issue where if you've held one card, then they are not allowing the second card.
Correct.
It's a pretty similar issue that was there with the Federal Bank
Bank,
also.
yes.
It's not a Scapia issue. It's a bank related issue.
Nee, but segue to that, right? Everyone's, what do you call, the dream, the bigger thing they want to do is get that DCB or get that.
Yeah. So the
लेकिन आदिल किस तरह सोच रहे हैं मुझे ऑलरेडी पता है. वो बोल रहा है कि मैं 20,000 स्पेंड करूंगा, जाते वक्त स्केपिया पे खर्च करूंगा, उतर के बॉम्बे में फिर डेस्टिनेशन पे वॉप कार्ड. सोचो ना, दो बार है.
no, see, my point of view is simple, right? Lounge access, luckily for us, other cards open up. ठीक है, जैसे फॉर एग्जांपल हम लोग के लिए Infinia ने खोल दिया लाउंज एक्सेस, EPM ने खोल दिया, HSBC प्रीमियर ने खोल दिया, तो लाउंज एक्सेस हमारे पास है. लेकिन अभी with the airport privilege, what happens is if I'm putting 20K there, one, I can eat a meal at a restaurant of my choice at the airport. What I am craving for, मैं वो खाऊंगा instead of buffet, क्योंकि buffet में तो I'll have to eat whatever is served, right? And भीड़ होती है वगैरह. But here I can go to maybe a Jamie Oliver and have a nice pizza. I can go to PF Chang's, और मेरे को PF Chang's के वो prawns बहुत पसंद है, the orange colored ones, क्या नाम है उसका मैं भूल गया. But they're really nice. Like,
I get what you're
top
getting.
class.
T2 में से enter करते हुए ना
वो बोल रहा है कि benefits में मेरे को खाना दो, don't only give me or give me flexibility.
No, so there are two things. So one of the other things that I've seen from Dhimant is like every time he's coming back, right? वो अपनी daughter के लिए gift ले आता है. He will buy these fancy mugs. He will buy these one thing special for his daughter that he gets from every trip. So when he's going, he'll carry something for his parents, Bangalore airport से. आते वक्त वो daughter के लिए आता है. For me, my jam is food. So I like to have a la carte stuff and enjoy my meal. So if I want lounge, I already have it. But if I want food, I have this. Otherwise, if I want to freak out on like some chocolates like Lind, which is also something that I enjoy, मैं relay से उठा लेता हूँ.
But Aadil, see, I have a different view to this. Again, I'm not saying Scapia is bad. Obviously, I love Scapia. You know that. So the month that I'm traveling, if I ever have that month again, which I had few months back, कि 6 बार मेरे flight है, मैं तो Scapia का 20,000 करूँगा. कुछ भी हो जाए, because it's just too valuable.
उस ट्रिप में
किया ना, I did because that time is 10,000, but I'm saying even 20,000 is worth. 6 बार is crazy.
6 बार आप use कर रहे हो, that is 12,000 rupees
and one of that flight was a stopover flight, which means you had actually used it.
The math I'm trying to explain, if you had 6, right, that is 12,000 rupees.
100%.
Which is crazy because you're doing it twice. Right?
Yeah, see, but that is, I think us sitting here, we also have a bit of privilege. We are enjoying those good cards, right? For a mid-tier, right, I think HDFC still makes sense. You are not in a good state, good place where the sourcing is good.
Correct.
Then, and if you are coming from a tier 2 city and coming to tier 1, HDFC is the bank that is there in every gully, not Bangalore. हर जगह है.
Correct.
So for entering into a non-redemption based to experience based to the bigger base,
यार
that is the biggest entry point.
और एक चीज सोचो, मेरा पॉइंट ये है कि ये जो एयरपोर्ट प्रिविलेज का जो फीचर आया है, दैट्स नॉट अ फेडरल बैंक इनोवेशन, दैट्स अ स्केपिया इनोवेशन. यू आर कंपेयरिंग अ फिनटेक ऑफ टुडे टू अ बैंक विच इज द ग्रैंडफादर बैंक, राइट, विच मीन्स कि वहां से इनोवेशन ऐसा नहीं निकलेगा कि आप आग बंद करके फोड़ू चीज करेंगे. दे वर डूइंग इनोवेशन एट वन पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम जब SmartBuy लॉन्च किया था.
बट रिमेंबर दैट स्केपिया को लास्ट ईयर उसको फंडिंग आया. HDFC के पास फंडिंग नहीं, उसको what do you call, I'm not getting the right word, it should sustain on its self-sustain, right?
That's what I'm trying to say. Second thing, I feel that people who have used Regalia Gold or who use 10% लोग छोड़ देते हैं जो हमारी तरह है, जो हमको फॉलो करते हैं, हमारे geeks है. 90% of the people who use Regalia Gold, it's their primary card. Let's not forget it. उनके लिए 60,000 हो जाता है उनका क्वार्टर में. Very easily, because if you're paying bills, you're paying education fee of your children, 60,000 is not that bad a number. My point is कि उनके लिए there is extra money on the table every quarter, so I see it as a revaluation.
And yes,
can they do more, better? 100% yes.
Okay, but you remember, it becomes very easy to track 60 in a quarter versus 20 in a month. वो भी है.
Then you can do a big quarterly spend once in a while.
And इसको साइड में रख लो.
ठीक है. So observation number 1. HDFC Regalia Gold revaluation is what we're calling it. That is Santosh's observation number 1. What are Santosh's observation number 2 and 3?
By the way, thank God it's a plastic card. I have to pay only 190. Don't launch Regalia Gold in metal card. भाई 3,500 नहीं दे सकता मैं.
यार, the new HDFC rules, they have created more mind work for me. So I have a Google sheet which I'll open. Shopping करने चलो ठीक है. That will have one sheet, all hacks. कि ये कार्ड है, ये इसके लिए ये यूज़ करना है, right? You have that. You give it to your family also कि going out, ask voucher है कि मेरे को call करो. Like that workflow is set. It's very easy.
ये sheet हमको भी दे दोगे अपन.
ये हम आपने ही सीखा. You had a family group where you had all the vouchers. Yeah, I learned from you.
अगर sheet है तो दे दो, comments में डाल के bookmark कर
We'll do it. Yes. So, but now with so many rules, ये है वो है, confusion create हो रहा है. It is not made easy for a person who is playing with multiple banks.
Correct.
It is now the game is twisting towards you have to be loyal to the bank as well. That is how the rules have been all changed.
But यार संतोष यार बहुत ही fair expectation है यार, बहुत ही fair expectation.
Yeah, I agree with this.
I don't think HDFC has to solve for those people who owns 5 super premium cards. I think they have to solve for people who have their super premium card from their bank. Perfectly. I actually feel honestly that minus the 5x to 3x, all other changes are palpable for me. I'll tell you what example. लाख वाला थोड़ा सा वियर्ड है, बिकॉज मेरे को समझा नहीं कि हाउ कैन यू हैव अ क्रेडिट कार्ड विच यू गिविंग फॉर 12,000 रुपी फी एंड देन सेइंग कि अब तेरे पास कार्ड है, अब तेरे को 18 लाख स्पेंड करना पड़ेगा टू रिटेन इट. मतलब जो आपने दे दिया वो दे दिया. आप फ्यूचर लुकिंग अगर कोई चेंज कर रहे हो क्राइटेरिया, इट मेक सेंस, बट इट मेड नो सेंस फॉर मी.
I'll tell you, see, like आज के डेट क्या है, 11th है, right? So HDFC has this feature when you go into their My Card app, go to credit card, it will give, you have a request to get your annual statement. Okay. It will give you financial year statement. मैं किया था 5th को, 8th को आ गया, डाउनलोड करो, पासवर्ड निकालो, अपलोड टू एनी GPT. It will give you a spending of breakdown. वाउचर स्पेंडिंग क्या है गिफ्टर में, ट्रैवल में कितना है, नॉर्मल स्पेंडिंग कितना है, एंड इट विल गिव स्पेंड. आई स्पेंड 10 lakhs last year, last financial year, 9.7, so 10, 7 lakhs was SmartBuy for me.
Crazy.
And I paid thoda on what do you call, on Tanishq, because no other card was giving me points on jewelry. 3% हो गया, and I had my wedding, so some ad hoc spending 1 lakh हो गया. Like for me who is a power user, मेरे को 12 out of 10, 7 is going to SmartBuy, right? If you calculate 15, that is your more than 1 lakh in earning. So if you think it like that and you're still doing 3 or 4 more lakhs, and I think you're still coming in the positive.
और ये वो कार्ड का रिन्यूअल फी क्यों है? अगर तुम चाहते हो कि 18 लाख स्पेंड करो, 18 लाख पे तो ऐसे भी कार्ड फ्री है, बिकॉज यूर नॉट बीइंग, व्हाई इज देयर एनुअल फी? आई एम सेइंग लाइक सोचो थोड़ा यार, रिवैम्प करो, पूरा एक साथ रिवैम्प करो, सबको एक कम्युनिकेशन भेजो. ये क्या है, 2 को ईमेल आ रही है, 2 को नहीं आ रही है.
I will tell you what they did. It is like us, right? कि इस साल में 10 फीचर लॉन्च करेंगे. फीचर 1 इज लाइव, दे जस्ट लॉन्चिंग इट. अभी 9 अभी बाकी है लग रहा है. आई फील एट द एंड ऑफ Q2 यू विल गेट द रियल पिक्चर.
हमने एक्सिस के एपिसोड में बोला कि वो एनुअल ऑपरेटिंग प्लान बना रहे हैं. मेरे को लाइक द फर्स्ट क्वार्टर द वे इट इज गॉन, लाइक यू सेड राइट, टॉपसी-टर्वी. आई एम सेइंग इट्स एन एनुअल ऑपरेटिंग कंफ्यूजन फॉर मी. लेकिन मैंने तो बोल दिया आदिल को कि अगर 18 लाख स्पेंड करना है, आई विल जस्ट मूव टू अ DCB. आई एम फाइन मैन. लाइक इट जस्ट मेक्स so much sense.
So I want to talk about that, right? So the email that came, I got the email that spent 3 lakhs between March and April.
Did you?
I spent.
Okay.
Because I had planned spends. Luckily, it worked out for me, so I have spent. That email, very interestingly, does not say what happens if I spend this 3 lakhs. Do I retain my Infinia? Or will they send me an email on sometime in May or June saying that आपने 3 तो कर दिया, हमने बाकी लोग को 18 बोला है, आप 15 और करो, या आप 18 और करो.
नहीं करते तो क्या लिखा था उसमें?
नहीं है. So that's the thing. So what happens if I don't? Will I get downgraded? Will I get another opportunity to safeguard the card? Will I have to part away with the card immediately? Zero clarity, right? So now I have already spent because I had those spends, which is fine. And secondly, I wanted to diversify also. Luckily, मेरे थोड़े SmartBuy भी spends थे, तो मेरा वो हो गया. Now, I don't know what to expect in May. Now, what you're saying is you're not going to do 18 lakhs.
मेरे को बिल ही नहीं आया है, तो मैं क्यों स्पेंड करूँ?
ठीक है.
मेरा पैटर्न तो चेंज नहीं होगा.
Okay, let's assume कि अगर आपको मेल आता है.
हाँ.
Hypothetically.
Okay, ठीक है.
ठीक है. Hypothetically आपको 1st May को मेल आता है. And let's say 18 लाख आपको करना है March 31st तक. Assume the mail is the same mail that most people got, which says, do it, otherwise you can't continue with the Infinia. In
Perfect.
that
Perfect.
lines.
Perfect.
तो and it doesn't say
Perfect.
कि
What you will do?
downgrade होगा या तुमको निकाल दिया जाएगा ecosystem से.
Perfect.
What is your stance?
Perfect. Very good question. अगर मेरे को ये email आया, the immediate thing I will do, I will reply back to them and ask them, please give me confirmation on email about 2 things. 1, tell me if this 18 lakhs can be spent on anything, or
yes, they have said
exclusive
that
manner.
on anything.
No, I have not got it. I will get it on my email. I don't care about what you got as an
Sure.
answer. So I will get that confirmation from. If they tell me कि excluded categories are included, I will go back to my working sheet and I will figure out कि मेरे tax payment क्या है. All of that I'll figure out. If they say कि नहीं तुमको यही category पे जिस पे point मिलता है उस पे 18 लाख करना है, तो second question I will ask them is कि boss, I don't want to do this. I don't want to spend. I don't have these kind of spends. Tell me what is the alternate card I can downgrade to next year. Give me options today so I can make a decision today.
So I will read out the email I've gotten.
Let's do that.
I did that. The specific alternate card cannot be confirmed in advance. Blah blah blah. The bank will ensure the alternate card is closest suitable premium variant based on usage pattern. मतलब let if
DCB metal,
DCB metal.
No, so closest बोलता है, but उसके बाद और एक लाइन बोला हो, based on usage pattern.
Which is I am spending, अगर 18 लाख के बदले मेरी spend last year 8 lakhs थी या 10 लाख थी, then DCB metal qualifies, no?
I don't
नहीं,
know.
we don't know.
That
Because
we are
it is
guessing.
based on usage pattern.
चलो
So
ठीक है
is that
चलो then we are all clear. It will be either DCB metal or it will be Regalia Gold. Perfect? Aligned?
maybe, yeah. So I think
There's
what we
one
should,
more word I want to say. After the financial year evaluation is completed, this is also the line they mentioned. And I got this email in April. Does this mean that March तक कुछ नहीं होगा? So all it
but
opens
did
is
you
a
get
bigger.
the 18 lakh mail, Santosh? Or
I
did
got
you
the 3
get
lakh mail.
3 lakh mail.
Bro, then
did
no
you
more-
did you complete the 3 lakhs?
Yeah.
नहीं देन अदर क्वेश्चन आई हैव मेरा रिन्यूअल नवंबर में है नवंबर में तुम रिन्यू कर दूंगा मैं कार्ड तो नवंबर के बाद मैं फी भर दूंगा तो वो मार्च में फिर मेरे को फी का भी रिफंड चाहिए इफ यू टेक माय कार्ड बैक अवे गिव मी
यार,
रिफंड
ये
ऑफ द
तो-
कार्ड दिस इज अनलिमिटेड दैट्स व्हाट
This is a bank industry problem कि features a devaluation after paying
इट्स
fee.
नॉट अ डिवैल्यूएशन दे आर टेकिंग अवे माय कार्ड बैक ना आई पेड द फी यू आर
I
टेकिंग
get-
नॉट
Okay, but
क्वालिफाइड
realistically, let's face it, you and I can't fight back.
हां वी आई एम ओके शॉर्ट आंसर टू योर क्वेश्चन आई एम रेडी टू गिव अप माय Infinia
You're
नहीं
I am willing
So,
to-
okay. So if you're willing to give up your Infinia, let's just discuss
I have a
Infinia.
question to Dhimant also. Why are you willing? Because you have something else better. What do you have to replace it?
Yeah, agreed. So let's say what is my card का spend today? It is either SmartBuy flight booking
और
it is
vouchers.
vouchers. Vouchers मैं मेरे बर्गंडी प्राइवेट से खरीद लूंगा मेरे को 6% ही मिलेगा कोई फी नहीं है कुछ नहीं
अपने
है
EPM
EPM I have but I don't see any value in holding the ICICI voucher because Amazon पे चला
यार,
गया
अभी
Transfer
तो-
partners नहीं है ना
Amazon
यार.
पे चला गया ना multiplier
So आप तो अभी बैंकॉक जाके आए. You could have redeemed 100%. In HDFC do 70%. तो ICICI is a good place.
भाई लेकिन मेरे वाउचर का स्पेंड स्विगी और Amazon है ICICI doesn't give points on that bro so okay so Swiggy के लिए I have solved for
Correct,
Swiggy I
yeah.
got a Swiggy card in my family which means 10% मेरे को फ्लैट मिल रहा है Swiggy पे
But if you are doing ठीक है 15%, 16 versus 10 ठीक है. Let's.
अरे आई एग्री बट 18 लाख नहीं स्पेंड करूंगा ना 5%
नहीं, so
कमाने के लिए
actually the question, the thought behind asking the question is for some or many of our audience, right, reaching Infinia is their best.
Okay,
So we have to
perfect.
answer for them, not for.
Perfect. Okay. Let me tell you what I would recommend somebody if Infinia was their only super premium car.
Correct.
If that's
Correct.
your question.
Yes.
If that's your question, then I would say I would do that Excel annual operating part of my expense. I would say ki if I have 20 lakh spend in the year, Infinia should be my only card. It's
Correct.
fairly rewarding card.
100%.
3.3% is beautiful. Use it. But if your spends are 10 lakhs in a year, you somehow still have Infinia. I don't know why you have Infinia, but if you have Infinia, a lot of people have got Infinia in spite of the spending being very low. I'm not recommending them to spend 8 lakhs. Downgrade the card, get the Regalia Gold or the DCB metal and switch to another card from another bank like HSBC T1 and continue your journey.
मेरे को एक बात बताओ. I'll take this is persona number 1.
हाँ.
Let's take persona
You
number
keep
2.
throwing persona, I'll keep giving.
हाँ.
Perfect. very
Persona
good.
number 2. बंदे के पास Magnus Burgundy है. Okay. Magnus Burgundy का reward rate after AEP is 14%.
Correct.
Let's assume this person can do 3 or 4 months AEP आराम से. Does he still need the Infinia?
No, it doesn't. That's what I'm trying to say. Amazon आ गया तुम्हारा वाउचर, स्विगी वाउचर आ गया AEP में, तुमको जरूरत ही नहीं है. और जो भी वाउचर आपको चाहिए, आप you can buy it from Magnus Burgundy in the AEP months, ना?
So let's come to persona 3. भाई के पास EPM है.
हाँ.
Emerald Private Metal.
सिंपल अगेन एमरल्ड प्राइवेट मेटल अगर आपको स्मार्ट बाय वाला फीचर चाहिए जो यूज पॉइंट्स फॉर ₹1 वन थिंग आई वुड स्टिल कंटिन्यू विद ईपीएम एंड आई वुड लेट इन्फिनिया गो बट इफ आई नीड पार्टनर्स देन इट्स नॉट अ ऑप्शन फॉर मी आई मीन ऑनेस्टली एट दिस स्टेज आई वुड नॉट बाय द वे जो भी इन्फिनिया क्या हो रहा है देयर इज अ गुड चांस ईपीएम विल डू दैट
Follow suit, yeah.
सो इन दैट इट्स नॉट अ ग्रेट स्ट्रैटेजी इट्स अ pathetic I would
So
say
then-
keep the
so
Infinia
keep the Infinia, okay.
spend that extra little bit to get the Infinia
Got it.
So I would say keep the card. Bank will close it at some point.
हाँ.
But
Close मत करो.
Close मत करो.
Agreed.
Second is, यार see, somehow Axis, Aadil is saying Axis. So एक और याद आता है मुझे. I'll tell you why I was reading a thread, right? कि for people, let's say मैं होसूर जा रहा हूँ काम पे. If you want to optimize on spend, that Ibis helps me. Rather than staying in some hotel which is in Make My Trip, which is जिसका reputation नहीं, right? So Accor का flexibility जो था, that you can take it back to Infinia because you can redeem 70%, right? That is the biggest help for me. Like my parents are going to some, they are 60 plus, they are going to some yatra where they are going to some, they're going to all religious places. For them, right? I see HDFC is the only card which helps me कि यार today night we are reaching some small town near Varanasi, यार हमको यहाँ hotel चाहिए. Nothing solves for that.
लेकिन उसके लिए wouldn't Premier be a better card?
Hopper.
आप ये नहीं सोच रहे हो कि that small hotel will not be on Hopper.
Hopper पे है नहीं. There's a
I
problem.
have
सही
done
में?
that.
नहीं है.
हाँ. See,
Hopper
I
पे
will tell you
Oh.
because 7th June my parents are going to Varanasi and they're traveling from there to Kashi. They're stopping in some places
Yeah.
and I'm
Very
not
good
able to
point.
find a hotel there, which I did in HDFC.
Let's very good point. But yaar, doesn't Regalia Gold solve for that? Doesn't Diners Black solve for that? Like why
It
do you
solves
need
for this, but we are
specifically
talking about
Infinia?
situation. Infinia रखना है क्या?
Okay, I have another interesting question. ठीक है, आपने पूछा ना आप क्या करोगे? मेरे को ईमेल आया ना, अगर ये दोनों चीज़ के बाद भी I don't get a positive response, I'm going to send a third email. मैं उसको पूछूंगा कि भाई मुझे बता कि what unfair usage have I done of the card that you're asking me to close it. I am still going to 30 days के बाद go to RBI and ask them कि भाई किस बेसिस पे मेरे कार्ड को क्लोज किया जा रहा है, मुझे जानना है what is that term and condition, because I genuinely feel that a smart bank will increase the fee for me. जैसे अभी there is a point of view saying कि if you don't hold the Magnus Burgundy का backup, the number of money that you want in the account, they can charge you a fee for the card, right?
Got it, yeah.
Why don't you increase the fee of the card for people who are not fulfilling that criteria? Ask them to get a separate version of the card, pay 20,000 fee. आपको loss हो रहा है ना? You take that loss in form of free from me.
I'll tell you one thing. So you're asking a complicated question to a bank which can just not charge 3.5, can give a plastic card. इतना if and or logic वो नहीं कर पा रहे हैं. You're asking them.
No. I am asking a very simple question कि तुम्हारा ये 18 लाख का लॉजिक कहाँ से आया, मेरे को समझ में नहीं आ रहा है. आप मेरा कार्ड फोर्सफुली क्लोज कर रहे हो. I am not closing it. So every time Magnus closes your card or Axis closes your card, they tell you that you have unfairly used it. आपने terms and condition violate किया है. क्या terms and condition मैंने violate किया है? I am not giving up my card.
So at least what I think, ये जो question Axis से आता ना, it is a cognitive load on them to kind of verify all of this.
नहीं एक सेकंड. You're not getting my point. I am saying तुम्हारे पास Diners Club कार्ड था.
Correct, हाँ.
तुमको मेल आया ना कि you are eligible for the upgrade. Did you chose the upgrade, right?
Correct, yes.
Similarly, I should get an option. I have to choose the downgrade. They have to give me an option कि भाई ये तो downgrade कर रहा है तो बंद कर दो. मैं ये पूछ रहा हूँ कि तुम बंद क्यों कर रहे हो मेरा कार्ड?
यार मुझे पूछे तो I get you and I don't have an answer to you. But the problem is at this point we have to evolve our decision based on what they are saying.
Agreed.
So उसका आंसर तो हमारे पास नहीं है. No one in this room has.
मुझे लगता नहीं उनके पास भी आंसर होगा इसका, बट ठीक है.
Scene यही है, life is not fair.
I think insert Aadil's quote यहाँ आएगा ऐसे.
वो आएगा, वो प्रोमो में निकल डालेगा. Life is not fair.
नहीं, I'm just saying कि यही है कि they're playing a game of chess, we have to play checkers.
My only
तो हमारे को ऐसा करके figure out करना
Let's summarize this by saying Regalia Gold changes are good. Infinia changes are hard to understand at this point of time. I think the overall message that people who have got the mail should understand कि भाई they should expect the card to be closed if they don't meet the 18 lakh.
I think what they've tried to do is they've tried to play spoiled sport and they've tried to play nice at the same time. According to me, it's a masterclass in how not to do product communication. Whoever is the product manager, they've probably spoken to Corpcom or PR to soften the message, but they've ended up complicating it. तुम सीधा black and white बताओ यार. अगर 18 lakhs में अगर spend कर रहा हूँ, तो I retain the card, fantastic. अगर मैं 18 नहीं करता, is it a 1 level downgrade? Is it a 2 level downgrade? What is clearly बता दो ना यार, क्यों तुम black and white नहीं रख रहे हो?
नहीं, but वो the reason why they're not sending an email and he's right, because if your spend was, let's say hypothetically, आपको गलती से Infinia मिल गया था for whatever reason, and now you have Magnus Burgundy, Atlas, तो आप 1 लाख रुपए spend कर रहे हो उस कार्ड पे खाली, and you're okay to pay the fees because 12,000 पॉइंट मुझे मिल जाता है, ठीक है? He's saying इसको तो मुझे Regalia Gold भी नहीं देना है,
हाँ,
because का Regalia Gold का भी spend का औकात नहीं है.
तो
That's why I'm not telling you.
मैं वही बोल रहा हूँ यार, तुम क्लियरली बता दो ना कि अगर आपका स्पेंड थ्रेशोल्ड 1 से 5 लाख है, तुमको ये कार्ड मिलेगा. 5 से 10 लाख है, तुमको ये कार्ड मिलेगा. 10 से 20 लाख है, ये कार्ड मिलेगा. और whatever, you build a matrix.
जो तुमने
make it transparent.
जो तुमने इशू करते वक्त सोचना चाहिए था, वो तुम आप सोच रहे हो.
यार,
Basically,
मुझे
that's the
लगता
point.
है they have that in mind already. They're just softening the blow. छोटा छोटा करके छोड़ रहे हैं बस. You know, एक one बंदा like ठीक है. Now the person right who will do, I will get the email कि 3 करना है in this 2 months, 8 करना है in these 2 months. If not, you will happen this. Then what will happen is you might see people leaving in bulk. क्या रे ये अब हमसे नहीं होगा. So 3 किया, give them a hard but an achievable target. So people, let's say it's targeting 10,000, 1 lakh, right? 50,000 will manage to do that. So then they will focus on that 50 and slowly titrate down to the real user segment is what I think.
But I'll tell you what, right? If I were to still like give the benefit of doubt to HDFC because they have massive pressure on their P&L maybe. If I were to summarize this change, I would still say कि if this change, if communicated well, helps to keep the card valued further than getting devalued. I think this is still a good change because मुझे लगता है कि अब शायद with the right audience, the devaluation rate will significantly slow down. I don't think now they will go to 3x on vouchers. That was deadly. मतलब bringing 3x on voucher rate would have been just a killer. Like I don't think anybody would have continued to retain the card if that's what happened.
See, I think they have a good product manager in their office because they've communicated better for Regalia Gold than Infinia. they still have left a lot of gaps. That's why I use the word better. They have communicated better, but the problem I think they have
it's learning from the mistakes. It's not like better. I think they're also evolving. उनको reactions मालूम पड़ रहे हैं कि how people react on each chain. So yeah.
Okay, so here's the headline. What we're saying is Regalia Gold, welcome changes, good stuff. Infinia, chaos and confusion. And we have no idea where to go. But in a way, you're saying कि चलो this is at least better than a brutal devaluation of let's say 3x. तो तुमने बोल दिया minimum spend कर लो 18 lakhs. Otherwise we will devalue you. तुमको एक साल का time भी दे रहे हैं. So it is much better than coming and saying आज से devalue हो गया भाई.
और मैं इतने confidently इसलिए बोल रहा हूँ because if you remember the November live stream that we did, December live stream, right? We knew what are the options in front of the bank, and we knew that this is one of the trigger they will pull. Like ये सब triggers में ये 18 लाख वाला trigger था ही नहीं. I think this is an afterthought, right? Because the 3x वाला was the most deadly one, and there is one more bug which will get closed. But apart from that, I don't see any now devaluation coming in at least for the near term. After this change, if this change is implemented.
Which is really good to hear, right? Matlab, so long as you're protected. And that 18 lakhs, I think, is a justifiable limit. But I want to bring one more point here, right? So HDFC Infinia used to be the king. And for a long, long time. But I do think competitors have stepped it up. Magnus Burgundy is mighty and strong. For example, if somebody has an 18 lakh rupees spent, I think Magnus Burgundy can potentially deliver better results. Arguable, if you have voucher usage, maybe SmartBuy is still better. But for generalistic spends, maybe Magnus Burgundy is a strong competitor. 2, if
also
you like to play it clinically clean, absolute no-nonsense card, HSBC Premier is standing tall. Really tall. You will miss out on the vouchers, that's okay. But travel unparalleled benefits, no-nonsense card, great value for the first 1 lakh. जहाँ spend करना है करो तुमको. Fantastic joining benefits. And Accor still a very, very important player.
ये आपको फिर से बोलना पड़ेगा so that people can believe it कि Accor is still there.
No, so like HSBC, you sign up, you get 20,000 points, you move it to Accor, there you go, $40,000 in terms of value, which is straight amazing.
I think that let's also cover BizPower. I think that change was brutal, I feel.
Batao, let's dig into it.
Go for it.
Yeah, see, it's a couple of things, right? The whole biz sector of cards was tax. So I think the biggest change was the 25,000 का जो base था, उसमें IT spends are included. Now they're excluded. Right? It means the whole reason why you took the card kind of disappears overnight. But second is they've also increased the 5x how much you can earn. I think from 5,000 to 7,500.
Correct.
So if you ask me, what they've done is they've tried to retain the honest users without using this whole drama of we will audit your bills, we will do this.
Honest users, यार मतलब कोई बंदा अगर BizPower कार्ड पे खाली 25,000 टैक्स पे स्पेंड कर रहा था वो honest बंदा है यार. I'm saying that honest.
So like honest, I think they're wrong.
It's not even genuine. Honest are not the right words. I feel that they are saying कि भाई मैं कुछ burn ले रहा हूँ, अगर मुझे तुझे ये burn देना है. I think it's very similar to what Axis Airtel did, right? They said कि भाई तुम genuine spends करो. Genuine spends का मतलब है profitable spends for me. Then I will give you unprofitable spend for points.
Same Easy Diner thing, no?
Exactly.
Yeah, but you should also, then why does the biz exist?
अरे वो बोल रहा है biz spends ही करो,
हाँ,
but tax पे मत करो. वो बोल रहा है कुछ सॉफ्टवेयर खरीद दो तुम business के लिए.
That's what I'm saying, right? When they said biz, maybe they put IT as a possible way
one thing,
right? Because it is part of 7-8 things in business.
But तुमने बोनस भी खाली इनकम टैक्स पे दिया तो लोग उसी पे स्वाइप करेंगे ना बाबा.
Like coming back to that, उनका product manager whatever, right? That is a communication problem and not understanding the user persona.
Blaming the user. When you want to deliver good news massaged by PR, when it's actually bad news. तब ये सब होता है.
भाई blaming the user for a feature that you asked them to spend on, obviously it's not right. तुमने बोला कि 5x इस कैटेगरी पे है, तो लोगों ने उस पे स्पेंड किया. तुमने बोला वाउचर पे 5x, तो लोगों ने वाउचर खरीदा.
Because I think what they might have thought, अरे advance tax महीने में, sorry, year में 4 times they might spend. That must be the thinking process of when they introduce the feature. But what happened in reality is much different. People are using it for every month. Okay.
I think what's happening here is this almost looks like the roast of this particular bank that we are doing. But it is what it is. What we are truly describing is our sentiment and feelings based on the cards that we hold. और अभी बात करते हैं what kind of people really benefit for each of these cards. Let's talk about Regalia Gold. Let's talk about Diners Black. Let's talk about Biz Black. Infinia.
Biz Black? अभी तो अभी untouched है वो.
I think मेरे को लगता है कि what I want to just एक बार recap कर लेता हूँ छोटा सा. Regalia Gold, Infinia and Biz Growth, Biz Power. Biz Power. Three cards we spoke about. Like, let's also acknowledge the fact that HDFC is the only bank who thought about those freelance people जिनको पर्सनल कार्ड यूज नहीं कर सकते.
Correct.
जिसको जीएसटी इनवॉइस मिल सकती है, जो टैक्स भर सकता है अपने कार्ड्स के लिए.
And you are also forgetting that we have so many entrepreneurs in tier 2 cities for whom getting that HSBC is difficult. Everything is difficult except HDFC. So they have captured that segment very well and they're refining it.
I'm adding to Adil's point. The intent is not to roast. The intent is to get out what really we feel is a great product, but deliver it in the right manner and get the right communication done.
ये जो tax वाला है ना, it could have been very well portrayed, saying कि you will get bonus, but only for 2 payments in a quarter.
That was a perfect. So that's the change I liked. They said that if you have to get points, the first 2 tax transactions and first 2 GST transactions will get you points, right? वो understandable था because then you're actually keeping the genuine users and some people who are misusing it, like maybe किसी और का टैक्स भर रहा है या किसी और का GST भर रहा है, उसको तुम पॉज कर सकते हो. But having a 25,000 spent on other things, भाई ये सब लोग के पास they have 2-3 cards. Nobody lives with just one card. That's the only point.
There's one more thing that I think we missed. We should talk about that a little bit before we move into what is the HDFC card stack strategy for each of us in 2026. Before going into that, ये add-on cards का क्या scene है?
Yeah, like I don't know if you guys have seen, there was some reel which became very controversial on the internet. वो जो कढ़ाई और metal card का there was some reel. I mean, so I found it very funny. But honestly, like I don't understand what was the reason of doing this. You are saying that जो कार्ड का फी 10,000 रुपया है, उसका कार्ड अगर genuine user का घूम गया या कोई फ्रॉड में फंस गया, you're asking me to pay 3,500 for a card. Now I don't know the cost of generating a metal card, but मेरा understanding है between 1,200 and 1,400 रुपया. So if I am the bank, I would not want to make money on the card. And if you are doing it to कोई नॉन जेन्यून यूजर को फायदा ना उठाए कि बार बार निकाले ये कार्ड, if that was the reason behind it, then it's weird because you're punishing your best customers. अभी जो बंदा 18 लाख स्पेंड करने वाला है ये कार्ड पे, आदिल जो करने वाला है नेक्स्ट ईयर टू कीप दैट कार्ड, you're asking him कि भाई तुम your card number got leaked and you pay me 3,500 to give you a fresh card. It just doesn't make sense for me. Like I don't know what's the logic behind it, right? So that's one. Secondly, I feel that then if that's the case, then I should have an option of choosing a plastic card. कि भाई तुम ऑप्शन दे दो, मेरे को नहीं चाहिए मेरे को तुम्हारा मेटल कार्ड यार. You chose to put it in metal factor.
You know why they're not in the plastic card? Because there are still पुराने जमाने के users who are still sticking to that plastic card from Infinia and HDFC.
Same feel ले लो यार, मेरे को नहीं चाहिए metal. I'm saying 3,500 is brutal.
I would still agree with you, right? कुछ है नहीं. See, I have had that issue कि कार्ड कुछ हो गया, ब्लॉक करना पड़ा. But if they charge me 3,500, to be honest, I can't go elsewhere because there is nothing else for me to go back to. So ये थोड़ा what do you call entitlement?
Sort of locked.
It's sort of locked.
I also
there.
do feel, and again this is not tested, so please don't quote me for this, but I feel that if a genuine user has an issue जहाँ पे fraud transaction हुआ है, they may actually waive off that fee, is my guess. This could be to abuse को कम करने के लिए, so that people who like I also saw that a lot of people were changing their add-on cards just for fun because they wanted a separate number.
Yes.
Maybe that is what they are trying to stop, or there are other visa offers which the people were misusing or whatever. So maybe that's the reason they did it.
I read the terms and conditions, right? So what it felt like again, what could turn out, right? I think when you ask for a replacement, I think that's what's going to happen. But let's say you call the bank and say that, यार मेरा fraud हुआ है, इसका chargeback raise करो. Usually the agent is offering card replace करके मैं block करता हूँ.
Exactly.
When that happens, I don't think the charge will apply. Is how I interpret.
भाई तुम सोचो, तुम हांगकांग में हो सपोज, राइट? तुम्हारा कार्ड घूम गया, तुम्हारी फटी हुई है, ठीक है? If you make a call to Amex and if you make a call to HDFC, imagine the difference in conversation. Amex will tell you, आप कहाँ हो बताओ, मैं तुमको नया कार्ड भिजवा रहा हूँ. और HDFC बोलेगा,
48 hours के अंदर आएगा वो.
और HDFC बोलेगा, एक काम करो, 3,500 काटूंगा और तुमको इंडिया में कार्ड भेजूंगा.
वो भी कब पता नहीं, 15 दिन लग सकते हैं.
I mean, वो तो आ जाएगा 3 दिन में, my guess is. I mean, at least that I have experience with Blue Dart, the card comes on time. But like at that time, I'm not thinking about like paying more money to somebody. I want somebody who empathize with my situation. So Aadil, मेरे को लगता है, to summarize it, it is for people who are misusing the whole replacement system. But it's sad if they continue to charge the genuine users for a replacement. That's my two take.
Cool. So चलो, I think we've talked enough about the changes. अब आते हैं 2026 strategy के ऊपर. So Santosh, tell us what cards you have in the HDFC ecosystem. What categories do you plan to use? What do you think your spends are going to be? And what are partners where you plan to redeem them, or is this pure SmartBuy play for you?
Okay, perfect. So what I have right now is I have Infinia. I have Diners Black, which is my sister's, and technically I manage the card. Then I have your Tata Neu, Swiggy, Marriott, Bonvoy in HDFC. What I plan to have is get my wife. She recently got the HDFC Regalia Gold. So my stack will not change. I'm salaried. I do not have to pay a lot of taxes. So I mean, using a card. So मेरे को Biz Black वगैरह का I never had the need, and I don't think it kind of makes sense. Coming to redemption, right? First is ये तो मैं कई बार बोल चुका हूँ कि the place I travel usually is home. No award seats. SmartBuy.
Perfect.
2 people, 2 and 4, 20K easily. I go 4 times in a year. It settles for me. Number 1. Number 2 is now some of these points have started. I was not in the Apple ecosystem, but my partner is. Maybe I use it for that. Number 1. Number 2 is I also, because now I have Magnus Burgundy, but I am now locked out of the Avios ecosystem. The second one is for the Finnair transfer. This is it. And ideally, I want to give more chunk to the Avios system via Finnair and reduce for cash redemption, because I've realized that even though you have JAL in one word, it becomes very difficult to get an award seat. Yeah. So rather, I would want to do that. Second, like I was talking before, Accor give me like the flexibility कि कोई कोना में एक छोटा होटल 4-5 हज़ार में कर लूँ, इबिस में कहीं में. अब वो flexibility नहीं है मेरे पास. That I've shifted it to Infinia now.
Very good.
That
Good
is
point.
how my
Great
strategy
point.
changed.
And actually, like if I put some numbers to it, अगर आपको 5,000 रुपए की होटल करनी है, you need 2,500 points. 2,500 points is 5,000 Infinia points, right? 2,500 Accor points, which is great. It's not bad. 5,000 Accor points में आपको Infinia points में आपको generally एक Air India की flight मिलती है from Mumbai to Delhi. If I'm getting an IBIS stay in that, I'm okay with that. Absolutely. Yeah. By the way, like my take is slightly different, but and a lot of people may not like my answer. By the way, I'm just.
बताओ.
So मैंने जो सोचा इस साल, the first option that I've thought is I'm going to buy the Air India status with this Infinia and.
You're going to buy.
He will travel.
I'll travel SmartBuy Air India rather than using miles, just to make sure that flights keep adding to my status, right? So to reach Gold Star Alliance, if I take 20 flights, earlier I used to use a lot of the mileage 4,000 points economy. So you said 4,000 from Axis. I'm not going to do that. I'm saying कि वो sector की revenue ticket 6,000 रुपया होती है, 5 से 6,000 रुपया. So instead of paying 4,000 points plus 1,500 rupee in taxes, I will just pay with SmartBuy. And I'll keep adding the flight so that it keeps counting against my status. And now that status
Gold
की
के
number
लिए
of
कितना है? 30 है ना 50 है?
50 है ना?
45 flights.
I think for me, I think that is something I'm chasing. And again, what I've realized is now they've made it flexible. So it's not like a hard 365 day count, right? It's a rolling 365 days. So if there is enough one at least period in between, well, I have a lot of travel to Mumbai or Delhi, I think there is a chance I may hit the status. That's one. So for example, tomorrow only I'm going to Bombay. Now, ideally, I would have booked the 4,000 flight, I was getting it, but I booked it via SmartBuy to get this. Second thing I'm going to use it for is as a backup for Accor. if I don't have enough points on Accor and I want to do it, I'll transfer some of Infinia points to Accor. Again, not the most efficient way. HSBC है मेरे पास, but if I shortfall हो गया अगर तो second. Third is all economy international flights I'm thinking of doing via SmartBuy rather than business. Everything will go to Axis, HSBC, miles transfer, because business like you know कि यार it's impossible to cover with SmartBuy. That's what I'm thinking. Obviously there is Avios which I am already invested in this year. तो जहाँ पे भी Avios की ज़रूरत है, I'll use that as a backup. That's my plan.
And you're saying you will transfer from Infinia to Accor at 2:1.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's all क्योंकि कोई और ₹1 दे रहा है तो इसका मतलब ये नहीं कि Infinia to Accor is bad.
You made a good point that suppose Ibis Hosur है, you can choose between what you know you will get when you go to an Ibis versus what you might get when you book some OA or whatever, right?
Familiarity
this
matters.
Is a very,
familiarity matters. दूसरा चीज I think on the spend categories, one thing I'm now doing is कि Amazon Pay has become very difficult to generally acquire. जब भी Amazon Pay short है तो insurance I'm using Infinia for, because insurance is a category which has got a sweet spot with all HDFC cards. If anybody has great high insurance spends, your go-to card should be HDFC because they have good limits. I think 10,000 per month is Infinia, which is very fair limit.
Which is the reward points you can earn.
Reward points earn. तो मतलब spend तो मतलब काफी लंबा हो सकता है. 3 लाख टाइप हो सकता है. 3 लाख ना? 3-3.5 लाख टाइप आप spend कर सकते हो. Yeah, so that's one area I think I'll optimize for. जब तक voucher पे 5x मिल रहा है, जब तक Swiggy vouchers मिल रहे हैं, जब तक Amazon का that 10 quota continues and I get points, I'll continue doing that. All other shopping vouchers I'm continuing. Gold, if I buy now, I'm not buying gold because of the high prices, but if I do continue buying gold, some of those options will open up. These are my the spend ideas and redemption ideas for HDFC.
I think ये consistency पे ज़्यादा आ जाता है game rather than choosing, right? अभी you are on Swiggy, 2000 का order आया है. I think the problem is मैं कहा ठीक है यार 10% Swiggy card से कर लिया. So I think you have to now take that brain load and do that
cognitive load.
Yeah, take that and do that infinite transaction, right? That is where it happens, because spending करना इतना मुश्किल हो गया अभी तो.
But अगर मेरा point यही था कि अगर मैं Infinia से भी Accor में डालने को ready हूँ at some point of time if I need them, like for somebody who has Regalia Gold, use it like Accor co-branded card. यार करो, use करो, spend करो multiplier categories पे Regalia and use it for Accor. I don't think there is any better use for that card.
ये हमने लास्ट टाइम में किया था कि दैट वाज द ओनली मिड टायर कार्ड विच हैड ए टैक्सी टू द एयरपोर्ट, इफ यू रिमेंबर, एंड दैट फीचर स्टिल चेंज्ड इन अ डिफरेंट वे एज ए उबर वाउचर. आई थिंक द ओनली कंपैरिजन राइट नाउ यू हैव इज अ ट्रैवल वन विच कम्स विद अ हेडेक. देन यू हैव अ क्लियर ट्रैवल कैटेगरी कार्ड विच HDFC हैज लाइक.
नहीं, बट अगर आपको अगर इफ यू आर ओके टू हैव वन मोर कार्ड, ट्रैवल वन इज अ नो ब्रेनर ओवर Regalia, मतलब माइनस द वाउचर इशू.
उसका तो सोर्सिंग सिटी का प्रॉब्लम है ना.
That's what I was saying. Yeah. Cool. आपका बताओ, like what is your Infinia spend and sweet spot of burn का तो मुझे पता है, but फिर भी बोल दो आप.
burn का नहीं, उनको नहीं, सबको पता है.
नहीं, I think earn में तो simple, it's a voucher based card. That's
only voucher. आप 18 लाख के vouchers कैसे करोगे बताओ?
18 लाख तो नहीं होएगा वाउचर.
मैं वही बोल रहा हूँ, you should assume that 18 लाख के बिना तो आपका कार्ड कंटिन्यू नहीं होगा.
Assume 5 लाख रुपए के वाउचर्स हो जाते हैं साल में, because I'll tell you. So 10,000 का Amazon Pay होता है, 10,000 का Amazon Shopping होता है, 10,000 का Amazon Fresh हो जाता है. तो ये 30,000 तो हो गया. चलो, और तुम मतलब 5,000 Zomato पकड़ लो, 5,000 Swiggy पकड़ लो, तो 40 तो हो गया.
5 लाख हो गया. चलो ठीक है,
5 लाख रुपए तो हो गया. अब बाकी का, like you were talking about, your insurance spends are there. So say a couple of lakhs there. But that's
car
it.
insurance or whatever, personal insurance.
But that's it. Now what happens is, if the next mail comes, whenever it comes, that I have to do X amount of lakhs.
So you are not assuming that you have to spend 18 lakhs?
I am not. See, they asked me to spend 3 lakhs. I've spent 3 lakhs. Abhi jo future mein communication aayega, we will wait for that and action accordingly. Because as of now, I have spent it. So we'll wait and watch. And then if they want me to spend, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But there's no point stressing about it.
In my permutation and combination, there is no वो बोलते हैं ना, डॉक्टर स्ट्रेंज बोलता है कि 1 in million, मेरे 1 in million possibility भी नहीं है, I can spend 18 lakhs on that card. It's simple, this doesn't work out.
Actually, like this insight I got because I sent my financial year statement to ChatGPT. Yeah. What I realized is reaching that 80-70 sometimes not very difficult. I'll tell you why. कि you are talking about general expenses. अभी तुम बाहर चले गए, वेस्ट साइड चले गए, 10,000 का खर्चा ऐसे ही हो जाएगा. And you have your medicine which is covered.
Oh yeah, Pharmacy is a big 10x.
Yeah.
So and
Mintra.
I mean, we are only talking about the nicer things in life, but you also have family में किसी को
Basic
they might need,
utilitarian expenses, yeah.
That is there. So there are ways to cover it. अभी and I always say this because I have traveled in bus also. बस में भी है उसका.
You know, in the infrastructure world, civil infrastructure world, जो बॉम्बे में जैसे आपको पता होगी problem, it's called shifting the bottleneck somewhere else. So now what will happen is a lot of people who are now forced to spend will spend on those categories which will further hurt them. And that's what I think the next mail will come कि भाई अब तुम 2 लाख ऐसी कैटेगरी पे स्पेंड करो जहाँ पे 3% ही मिलेगा.
And if you remember, वो जो आदिल बोलते थे स्वाइप स्क्वाड वाला चैट है, when this email came, हमने वही बोला था कि I will now make sure to spend because मैं भूल जाता था पहले, अब मैं करूँगा.
Annual reminder.
So I think that's that on the spend. We'll figure it out as and when the mail comes. In terms of transfers, I think this is an interesting one because my strategy for Accor every year religiously has been 1st of January, move entire 200k to Accor. Move entire 30k of Atlas also to Accor. ये तो हमारा चाहिए और फिर इमीडिएटली बर्न करो. 1st Jan को ही प्री बुक कर लो तुम्हारी जो वेकेशंस हैं ये साल में, वो प्री बर्न कर दो उसको, फिर डिवैल होगा तो देखा जाएगा. एंड ऑलवेज बुक फ्लेक्सिबल कैंसिलेशन ताकि दैट इज ऑल्सो काइंड ऑफ प्रोटेक्टेड. अब क्या होगा कि नाउ एज अ रिजल्ट ऑफ दैट आई एम मिसिंग आउट ऑन माई स्टार अलायंस विच इज वॉट आई रियली नीड. आई नीड क्रिस फ्लायर बिकॉज दैट इज वन ऑफ माई फेवरेट एयरलाइंस. आई नीड एन एमिरेट्स बैकअप.
I think you are wrong in saying one of my favorite.
यार है अब क्या करें. बट इंटरेस्टिंगली नाउ धीमंत ब्रॉट अप दिस इंटरेस्टिंग एग्जाम्पल कि यार एमिरेट्स कब तक यू विल गो आफ्टर सिंपली बिकॉज नाउ देयर इज नो अर्न अपॉर्चुनिटी. टिल लास्ट ईयर अर्न अपॉर्चुनिटी वाज एम्पल बिकॉज ऑफ Amex. नाउ Amex has stopped and ICICI gives only 2%. 2% is not substantial enough for my US travels. So now I need volume. And that volume is not there. The only 2 places are Qantas, which is Group B, or JAL, through which I can book Emirates. Which has still availability issues are there, tricky. And again, we'll figure that out. JAL becomes Group A, and then Qantas becomes Group B.
What if Amex gave you 5-2? Would you transfer to Emirates? तो आई थिंक वो आने वाला है वापस. then you're going to get it. Like
अगर आएगा तो great.
It's coming. I can vouch for it.
But see, as of now it's not there. So keeping that, I have to figure out मेरे को क्या करना है. And अगर वो मेरे को करना है, then again I have to hopefully think about a 200k aeroplan next year to maximize Star Alliance, or I have to think about 200k Chris Flyer. As simple as
So
that.
Next year,
HDFC
right?
So what I will have to do is by October/November have immense clarity in my head
next year's travel.
where I am going to travel next year. As simple as that.
It's a rolling
और
problem.
उसका मई का ट्रैवल डिफाइन करना है मेरे को, अक्टूबर का ट्रैवल डिफाइन करना है मेरे को, क्योंकि ये दो मेरे बिकॉज किड्स हॉलीडेज आर देयर इन अप्रैल एंड मई. अप्रैल थोड़ा फाइट हो जाता है बिकॉज ऑफ वर्क, बिकॉज I can't travel in that month. May is perfect for me. October is perfect for me. So I think by November, if I can nail that down, then I will figure out what my Accor strategy is or what my Marriott strategy is for accommodation. I will have to nail one of these. Similarly, then my flight transfer partners, जैसे ही 1st Jan खुलता है, I know my Axis stash is ready, 200k plus 30k. Along with this, then I'll have to figure out what my backup stash is. That means अगर मेरे को HSBC पे डबल डाउन करना पड़े या मेरे को Infinia गिफ्टर पे डबल डाउन करना पड़े, then I'll figure out.
अगर मैं आदिल के केस में मतलब I have to analyze your pattern, I would say you are most likely, again I don't know your travel plans, but I'm saying you are most likely to do this. You'll probably use your access points to Aeroplan. I'm just giving a hypothetical scenario. You will use your Infinia points or HDFC points totally towards KrisFlyer, and you will use HSBC to Accor and Amex to like just be flexible कि जहाँ पे भी कम पड़ा मुझे वहाँ मैं Amex घुमा दूंगा.
Amex
This
is
looks like
perfect.
yeah.
जहाँ instant है हर जगह, वो सबसे important है.
By the way, Qatar is not a bad option anymore after going from Axis. Like
So HDFC, the way I'm thinking, SmartBuy, I have always seen every year for some reason or the other, I don't know, कुछ तो सारा ट्रैवल ऐसे निकल के आता है where you have to travel with the family. And that is significant cash burn.
3-4
And
लोग,
on the dates you have to travel only, the rates are bloody high. Right? So uske liye I think SmartBuy is beautiful. So I think it's important to have like that balance in SmartBuy that can offload your revenue costs. And that's where like SmartBuy cash is very helpful in my opinion. So that's my plan for SmartBuy.
यार मैं
बाकी अपन
पर सर
transfer
आप
partners
2 मिनट के लिए सोचो, like I genuinely feel the amount of time CC geeks talk about SmartBuy, right? It's insane what product and what institution HDFC has
Oh
created.
yeah, for sure.
If, let me just finish. Like, if you had a SmartBuy app on your phone, genuine good SmartBuy app, like हम काफी बार तो हम KPI ऐप खोलते टाइम पर ऐसे देखने के लिए मजा आती है. Imagine if it was a good app, like I would love, यार I request HDFC यार बनाओ यार उसका एक app, किक ऐसा app बनाओ. Like I love using that app, right? So I would like that's institution यार. It's sorry, you're saying something.
Yeah, see, I just adding on to you, right? You have to remember कि we are all talking about partner निकाल लिया overnight, but partner आया किस वजह से आया? That we have to remember.
वो तो एक्सेस है ना लेकिन
देखो OG तो HDFC था. Ratios. We were spoiled by access.
they kept the Chris Flyer and Vistara for the longest period और कोई partner नहीं था.
They did. But Axis changed the game.
यार वही तो बोल रहा हूँ, मैं वही तो बोल रहा हूँ.
And Burgundy is the card. Even Atlas. I think Burgundy and Atlas are two cards that, wow, it's just like after Diners Black, if there is something legendary that has come, after 10x Diners Black, it is Magnus Burgundy.
You know there was 15x, right?
Sorry?
There was 15x on Amazon.
10x तो मैंने देखा है, 15x मैंने कभी नहीं देखा. मैं कभी नहीं देखा मैंने.
I got my Diners Black in
उससे एक
2016.
ही डील उससे बड़ा था, वो था Marks and Spencer 40x. That was insane.
मतलब 2016 में I got my Diners Black और मेरे को genuinely लगा ये सच नहीं है.
Scam.
कुछ तो because no limits यार. तुम Amazon पे खरीद रहे हो, Flipkart पे खरीद रहे हो, तुमको 10x मिल रहा है.
This, right? The biggest thing.
And you could immediately burn that back in 1:1 100%.
Yes, yes. तभी लेकिन मेरे को ये प्रॉब्लम था कि मेरे को ये फ्लाइट वाइट का ट्रांसफर पार्टनर्स का ज्ञान नहीं था. So I would just burn everything on SmartBuy.
So I had the privilege of traveling a bit, right? In my career, luckily, at the company I'm in, and the moment you go there, and obviously you're still looking at card में क्या change है. This is all the articles you read, and you stay for 5 days, you'll start getting ads of their cards.
Perfect. I think other 3 changes by the way we missed because you said the earn rate, तो मुझे याद आया. एक है कि एक तो उन्होंने DCP की तो बैंड ही बजा दी. तो there is no reason for anybody to hold the DCP anymore. अगर आपके पास DCP है तो please बंद कर दो. I don't see what the card is good for.
So DCP. This is Diners Club privilege.
For the small, set of our audience who has DCP, I think you should upgrade to Regalia Gold, but you will lose your global coverage of launch, which Diners network has very good access. So you have to manage.
भाई वो तो मैरिट से मिल जाएगा. वो मैरिट कार्ड ले लो. उससे तो अच्छा मैरिट कार्ड है उसके लिए, वो वाले प्रॉब्लम को सॉल्व करने के लिए.
सिंपल है. 3,000 रुपए का ब्रिलियंट कार्ड
प्लस फ्री नाइट मिलेगा
तुमको. And people have got, I have got a first year free, so many have got a first year free.
Yeah. Second confusion that they created, उन्होंने बोला सब कार्ड पे हम अर्निंग रेटियो 150 से था, जब 150 पे इतना पॉइंट्स, they made it 200 पे now. So minus Infinia, DCB Metal, Disblack, all other cards now earn in multiples of 200. And it's 5 points per 200 versus 4 on 150 for Regalia Gold.
For Regalia Gold specifically.
छोटा सा change है, but multiplied by 5 voucher पे it is a decent change यार. मतलब 1%, 2%, 1% types change है. तो like I don't know why they did it, but like थोड़ा सा crazy ही है.
Cool. So I think time to wind this up. I think what we're saying with HDFC is it still has its use case. Infinia still holds strong, but with new cards in the market, everyone's strategy in terms of what they'll use for what is changing. If you have limited spends, think about which card makes more sense for you. Figure out if you're a transfer partner person or figure out if you're a SmartBuy person. If you like simplicity of SmartBuy, retain it, just use it, no nonsense. If you want to do more aspirational redemptions, think about something like a Magnus Burgundy. Think about something like an HSBC Premier. Think about your ability to get these cards. Weigh the pros and cons and figure out in terms of what our thoughts are, what our strategies are, and what our use cases are. We've discussed this today. So with that, let's call it a close. Thank you, Santosh. Thank you, Adil Dhimant ji, for
And
coming for our episode.
I will bother you guys, right? So when I was traveling in cab here, the biggest question I had is now there is no single card you can recommend to any user. And now it becomes very important कि जो आप बोल रहे थे ना कि recognize your spends, right? I think that becomes more important now.
चलो let's do one thing. Because he's brought that up, एक last section add करते हैं. If a guy asks you, एक card recommend करो.
यार मैं तो
आ रहा हूँ. एक question. So we will all take different segments, right? You take a different segment, I take a different segment, you take. If somebody spends 5 to 10 lakhs a year on credit cards, suggest one card. What would be and why? Just one sentence.
Yeah, see, if it is only one, right? Yeah, that's what I'm telling you. Right? After being in the system for so long, इसका आंसर नहीं है.
मेरा आंसर क्लियर है, मैरिड बॉन्ड है. सिंपल.
नहीं यार, आपका तो बेस रिवॉर्ड रेट इतना कम कर दे, why will you spend on that?
अरे तुम सोचो यार, मतलब अगर मैं ले रहा हूँ तो इमीडिएटली मेरे को एक 15,000 का मिलता है, 6 लाख पे 15,000 और एक एफएनए मिलता है, 9 लाख पे 15,000 और एक एफएनए मिलता है, और वर्ल्ड वाइड फ्री लाउंज एक्सेस. That is super underrated as a feature.
I will disagree with you.
My first card, one card I recommend cannot be a co-branded card because he's going to use one card. So
you said 5 lakh रुपए का खर्चा.
5 से 10 लाख का खर्चा.
5 to 10 years.
You can argue. That's my opinion.
Fair,
but yeah,
fair,
sure.
fair.
Yeah, I would rather do maybe. See, I would suggest one card for one person. So 5 to 10 में अगर you are a travel person, I would suggest T1. But if you are a mid-scale family guy who is want to travel India,
HDFC कार्ड बोला वो. HDFC कार्ड.
यार 5 to 10 बोलो तो अभी Infinia चलेगा.
कैसे चलेगा?
See, because
मिलेगा ही नहीं
वो
तुम्हारे
18 लाख तुमको खर्च करने के लिए.
So if I have, you are saying like Aadil said it, हम देखेंगे where it comes to. Right now, if it fits to your strategy, Infinia only.
वैसा तो सबको Infinia चाहिए.
वो तो मिलता नहीं है किसी को, लेकिन
so let's say then I would say it's only Regalia Gold or Diners Metal, depending if you're a voucher person or not.
That's what I'm saying. The right answer is probably between a Regalia Gold and a Diners Black, but I would recommend Regalia because it's a visa.
But think about ease of getting the card also, na.
Regalia तो मिल जाएगा. Regalia Gold is very easy.
सब नहीं मिल रहा है. People are struggling to get Regalia Gold.
See, I will tell you, it is very easy for this segment who has a payslip.
Yeah.
It is very easy for them.
I mean, my answer is Regalia Gold. I would say if somebody is 5 to 10 lakh spend करता है, get a Regalia Gold.
अच्छा नहीं मिला तो Regalia Gold?
नहीं मिला, okay. So
बता.
नहीं मिला तो फिर Millennia. HDFC Millennia.
Millennia, I would rather suggest go out of HDFC, right?
अरे but HDFC card suggest करना है ना बाबा.
वो
बोल रहा है मेरी banking relationship HDFC. I want an HDFC card. What would you recommend if there is no Regalia Gold? बताओ.
ये तो कलेश होने वाला.
Millennia ही है.
तलवार निकाल के जीवन को अटैक करूँगा मैं.
Then I think Millennia with a focus on HDFC Gold when you get it.
Yeah.
Regalia Gold when you get it.
So you are saying then the path should be, let me take the most available card जो मिल रहा है with the goal कि gradually मैं upgrade मारता रहूँगा.
And remember, it is the easiest ecosystem to
यार
enter.
मेरे को लग रहा है ना ये बातें खत्म नहीं होंगी, अपन रैप करते हैं.
ठीक है.
So with that, thank you Santosh, thank you Dhimant. Let's wrap up this episode. Thank you everyone for tuning in. यार अगर अच्छा लग रहा है, if you find we're doing some good spicy stuff, please like and subscribe. 60% of you who are watching our episodes haven't subscribed yet, तो दबा दो यार. दबा दो. Get the subscribe button. It helps us grow the channel. Hit the bell icon so that you are notified of all our.
संतोष भी बोलना चाहते हैं. संतोष को बोलने दो.
संतोष, आप request करो please like, subscribe and hit the bell icon.
Like, subscribe and hit the bell icon, please. Come on, guys. Yeah.
Bell icon नहीं दबाया चलेगा. Subscribe दबा दो.
We'll keep you updated. We're putting out a reel a day typically, and we're shipping out new content on a very regular basis. Thank you for being part of the channel. Do join the lounge if you get a chance. On Discord, we're very active. It's a very strong community there. With that, we'll sign off. Thank you, Santosh. Thank you, Dhimant. This is Aadil signing off from the Great Indian Points and My Show.